We're traveling into the vast blue ocean for 12 hours. The sun hasn't set yet. And it's not going to because in Antarctica, the sun never sets in summers. The reason for our expedition is that we have to stick a yellow tracker on a whale living here, and it has a camera. The reason is simple. We want to track the activities and routes that these whales are taking. And if it has something to do with our presence on the planet, I mean global warming, the Earth is getting warmer and it is leading to more melting of glaciers here. That is why government is spending millions of dollars every year just to see the changes happening here. And we are the chosen ones of the government to undertake this task. I have been working here for a while now, because this place feels like a home now, actually quieter than my home back in Europe. There is no traffic, no airplanes, no riots. It feels quiet, like death, and I like it. I think that the more time I spend here, the more unfit I become for the world beyond the ocean. Well, back to my black boat. We are here in a bay of Antarctica. It's all blue ocean, and small chunks of ice float everywhere. Seals rest on those chunks, looking at us like, I cannot describe it, how they feel. It's very hard to read their minds. I don't know what's going in their minds. The snowflakes fall like salt. Scott has collected a lot of this snow on his long brown beard. He likes it. That's why he doesn't shake it until his brown beard turns into a white Santa Claus beard. The white beard actually suits him too. Samantha, who's the head of our expedition here, is a very skilled woman. I have known her for years, even before coming on this expedition. She's very humble, intelligent, and a good leader. Look, Jimmy, there's a fin there. Rudy points to the left of the boat. There's actually a fin there, and that means a whale. Finally, we have been roaming here for hours, snow being settled on our boat like a white mattress. We need her, Jimmy. Samantha pounds without making any eye contact. I get the rod in my hands. The yellow disc is on the other end. It's just like a fishing rod. As we go closer to the whale, we slow down our speed. She's sleeping. It's the best time to stick the tracker. Whales, after having their appetite, come over to the surface, and mostly in pairs. But we don't see any other whale here. I must admit that it is a very big whale, by the way. I didn't imagine it to be that big. Scott cannot resist his eyes looking at the whale. The whale is in fact all below the water. Only her fin on the top and a little blue skin around her fin is above the water. And that's enough. We just need to stick the tracker there. Then, from the left of my ear, I hear the sudden roaring of our boat's engine stop. Rudy has turned it down, because it can wake up the whale, which will not be nice for us. First, we will lose her. Second, and worse, she could unknowingly go under our boat and push it up, badly turning it upside down, throwing all four of us into the cold ocean. Hypothermia will kill us in minutes. The fact that we have come very far from our main ship, it will take our friends hours to know that we are in a real problem, then to come for help. And don't blame me, all of our equipments are low at battery. The convention here is to have them charged at all times, but this day turned to be longer than usual as we failed to find a whale. Think positive, Jimmy. Nothing will happen. I will stick the tracker on her, and we will get back to our ship. I get to the left side of the boat. Rudy turns the boat parallel to the whale, and within 2 meters apart. I lift my rod straight towards her fin. But it isn't enough. I need more length. I grab the edge of my boat with my left hand and get over it, extending my right hand as long as I can. But I fail. But then I hear the engine of my boat starting again with its roaring, and the boat's is going parallelly forward to the whale so we don't collide, but reducing the distance between us at the same time. Stick it, Jimmy. But then the horror begins. The whales dive straight into the water, vanishing into the blue ocean. It was just inches away. It is a disappointment. I look at Rudy, not complaining, but realizing how important was this for us. And now we have lost us. I get back from the edge of the boat and drop the rod between my legs. You shouldn't have turned on the engine. Everyone starts looking at him, and I could see that he has begun to feel embarrassed. I'm sorry. He looks down at the snow-covered floor. Then, in a blink of a second, our boat is floating in the air. All of us get hit onto the hard floor. And then, as the boat turns vertical in the air, we all separate from her and the blue ocean appears ever more close. And bang, I can feel how cold the ocean actually is. I am still underwater. A little below the surface, I can hear my partners banging into the ocean. Samantha drops ahead of me, creating white clouds around her. I don't know what has happened. The rod with the tracker hanging on the end floats on the surface, and before I can think anything, a big black object, our boat, bangs on the rod. The yellow disc, like tracker floating alone in the water, ends up hitting in my belly. It doesn't hurt. I grab it and move towards Samantha. She is still under shock, failing to understand what has happened. I grab her and take her to the white-blue surface. As soon as I take my and her head out of the water, we could see our boat turned upside down. Where's others? I look around to find Scott and Rudy, but I cannot find them. I leave Samantha on the surface. Let me find them. I dive into the cold water again. I can see a red color on the right, underwater. It's Rudy, I know. I swim to him with the tracker in my hand. In the midway, a dark blue object blurs my vision. It's the whale. She had drowned us here. She doesn't hurt me. Meanwhile, I stick the tracker on her rubber skin with my bare hands, and then she suddenly dives deep into the darkness. Without any hint of coming back, I rush to Rudy. When I go closer, I see that his head is bleeding. The dark red blood is floating around his face, and he's also not conscious. I grab him from his belly, taking him to the surface. I pull him from the cheeks to try to make him come back to consciousness. And after a lot of torture, he actually comes back. Before opening his eyes, spits some water out, and then looks at me. What happened, Jim? I take him to where I left Samantha. There's Scott holding Samantha. We look at each other, sharing pain among us. The water is so cold that it has numbed the lower part of our body. Staying any longer will prove to death. There's an ice pack. Get over it. Scott points towards a lone piece of ice, just big as our boat, just some meters away. We get to it. Scott climbs first, asking me to hold Samantha, and then pulls her up. I push Rudy above, and as he climbs, blood stains on the ice. Then I take my turn and climb. We sit there for hours, just thinking of this. This has never happened before, and never have I heard about the accident like this, happening to anyone in the history of Antarctica. A whale turning a boat. What have we done? We were doing it just for the research. I can't even see our ship. It's behind the glacier that we crossed long ago. Our boat is also floating like a bottle cap upside down. Our $1 million equipments, few submerged under the blue water, some still with the boat, circling around it like in gravity of the boat. Hours pass, but the sun doesn't set, because the sun never sets here. What can go worse, you might think? Well, it can go a lot worse, because a seal emerges near the edge of the ice. It's big, it starts looking at me. I don't know why. Maybe it's hers. And we are living here as intruders. The rest of the people are sleeping, but with the first growl of the seal, everyone wakes up to the horror of this reality. The seal puts her fin-like hands on the ice, climbing halfway on the ice. Get down! I jump in the cold blue water and rush to my boat. Without looking behind for my mates, my plan is to get to the boat, turn it up, and save my friends. But the boat is very heavy. I try to push her, but all my efforts cause no change in the situation. In the last ray of hope, Scott and Rudy joins me. and we turn the boat straight. We start the engine and move it towards the ice pack. Samantha is swimming away from the ice pack. The seals have already showed their domination on the ice pack. They are in a pair now. We pick up Samantha. Avoiding any ice pack under our way, we boost our speed. But destiny has another surprise for us. A fin, the one we saw the day before, is in the midway. I tell Rudy to not collide. Nature won't give us a second chance. He drifts the boat so sharp that we fall to the edges of the boat. But thankfully, no one of us falls down. We have already captured hypothermia. As we pass the fin from a fine distance, it turns into a big blue-black object in the air. I see something yellow on her body, a small yellow patch. It's the whale who turned us down. I can see her blue eyes sharply looking at me, and I won't come back to this place ever. I will go home.